Blog Talk Radio.
On tonight's all-new and exciting episode of Some Kind of Radio Show.
Tonight, we hear the bold proclamation made by President Obama as he speaks at the World Toilet Bowl Convention.
I recognize that times have changed since I first spoke to this convention. Times have changed and so have I. And know that I am God.
The rumor mill is hot and bothered and running wild with the idea of one of Disney's beloved characters, Donald Duck's secret involvement in a porn video.
Oh my God, it feels so good. Oh yeah, oh slow down, oh yeah.
Here's Donald's exclusive comment to the rumors.
Oof, I'll go get you a towel.
Lastly, we hear a brief comment from NASA's Administrator Charles Bolden on the exciting find on Mars.
We ain't found shit!
None of these stories covered by the panel tonight on Some Kind of Radio Show. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to an all-new Some Kind of Radio Show here on Blog Talk Radio. Call in live now at 347-989-8810. And here's our host, the one, the only, Biggie Earl McCune.
We ain't found shit. That's how you start a show, right?
That's the best way to start a show.
That's the best way to start a show. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Some Kind of Radio Show here on blogtalkradio.com. We are joined tonight by our exclusive celebrity, well, they're not celebrity, panel. First, we'll start with Deb, who is here. Deb, of course, known for a star of Debbie Does Lap Dances. Debbie McCune.
Now shut up, dirty.
And
You're not supposed to tell my secrets.
Well, that is not a secret now. And, of course, with us, as always, Mr. Mike Malone, bowling's Mike Malone, I should say, because he is a professional bowler and a legend on the lanes in his own right.
Gigolo.
If you say so. What's up, Mikey?
What up?
I don't know. Well, you know, we have a lot of feel-good stories tonight, and our first feel-good story of the night, we're going to talk about Ohio man arrested for alleged, and it's not this time.
You're cutting out. We can't hear you.
I can hear you. Can you hear me now? I moved, okay? I moved the wrong way. Basically, the story goes, whatever floats your boat. An Ohio man has been arrested again for having sex with an inflatable pool raft.
And they said it was like his 8th arrest or something like that.
And that,
You keep cutting out. Earl, you're not on the phone! Mike, can you hear him?
No, I can't.
Earl, stop talking to yourself!
well, hang on.
Having some technical difficulties here on the show.
As always, with him running the show.
All right, we're going to...
You are a technical difficulty.
All right,
be glad you go on the air.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes, Mr. Verizon.
Yeah. Well, no, I'd like to thank the fine makers of this very, very great, nice headset that I have, that cheap piece of garbage that I have. It just, I can hear myself just fine until you guys tell me I can't be heard. You know, this microphone's garbage. Anyway, back to the story at hand. It's not hard to believe because this guy, he pleaded guilty for public indecency back in 2013 for having sex with a pool raft.
213?
Okay. 213. Okay, I'm a little frustrated because my microphone just went... Anyway.
No,
it's not hard to... Okay. Anyways, hold on. I got to unplug this microphone and I'm going to echo myself out of the room. There we
But,
go.
I mean, what, like, how does he get, like, aroused to do something like that? I mean, is he going and play a song like Inflatable Woman or...
Nah, he...
Inflatable Woman.
Yeah, keep away.
No, probably plays Splish Splash taking a bath.
Yeah, maybe something along those lines. I don't know.
Rub-a-dub-dub, a man in the pool.
Well, you know, here's my thought. Get a damn blow-up doll. I mean, come on, go to the sex shop, get a blow-up doll, and do it in the privacy of your own damn bedroom. Come on. I don't want to watch some dude humping a blow-up raft. Come on. I mean, at least you picked a pink one. I mean, at least you went pink. I mean, I'll give the guy a little pink one. And that's very nice.
Now, was it like an animal, a foot animal, or just like a raft?
It just says a pink blow-up raft in the story. I mean...
He probably paints a picture on it.
It could be a picture of you, Deb, for all we know. I mean...
Could be a picture of you, Earl.
Could be. I mean, it could be a picture of my ass. I mean, I've been told by many people that I have a nice ass, and... Yeah,
yep, got to give it a nice firm squeeze.
Oh, I've told you that.
Yeah, see, my co-hosts are agreeing that I have a nice ass. How nice is that? Anyway, we have a phone call. Hey, we have a call. Hang on a minute. You are live with some kind of radio show. Who's this?
Lottie, I see that you're having some technical difficulties. Do you need an engineer to come and help you?
Yes, we have Scotty from Star Trek. Charles Root. Charles, how you doing?
Not too bad. How are you guys?
Good.
You know,
We're doing awesome.
Fantastic. You know, I can help you with headsets. I cannot help you with inflatable sex toys. That is outside my realm of expertise. You can ask Doc John, Dr. McCoy. He's good with that kind of stuff.
Is he? Might have to pass that along. Let me make a note here. Okay, Doc John. Okay. Doc John's marital aid? Okay.
Well, you got to remember, after all, his nickname is Bones.
That's right.
Wow. Here we go. Anyway, you're on the line with us, Charles. Thanks for joining us. I did called in.
Don't worry. The
guy here in Ohio with the sex toy or the inflatable raft thing. I mean, I like get a blow up doll. Come on.
Yeah. Well, the thing that shocked me the most was wasn't it like that guy's fifth time that he was arrested for that?
Yeah, at least the fifth time. I'm trying to read this here on the internet now, and
I'd be like, dude, here's the deal. Here's the deal. Go to Walmart, buy one of those like $150 like inflatable pools, put it in your backyard or some other place, then buy all the inflatable toys you want to throw into it, all right, and just party in the privacy of your own backyard or something like that, you know?
Absolutely.
Put tarp over it. There's ways to get through your fetish, man. There is, you know? But,
absolutely.
It's like, but I'll tell you what, do not put your penis on my pool toys, okay? That's out of bounds, my friend, all right? I don't even want some of my friends or neighbors' penises on my pool toys. I sure the hell don't want a complete strangers, all right?
Why? Because they're blasts from the past.
Yeah.
All right. I'm looking at a picture of this guy. I mean, I can see why the pool toys would be appealing. I mean, I can't imagine too many women wanting to go look at this guy. I mean, I don't know if anyone's seen this picture, but wow. Okay. Basically,
Earl.
what it was.
Maybe you need to introduce them to clap on and clap off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, we're going to move on to the next story now. Now, this one's actually kind of perfect with Charles calling in here. NASA is NASA site. Let me get to my notes here so I don't fumble this. I don't want to fumble this too bad. I don't want to be misquoted. I have never been misquoted in my life.
You fumble more than the Browns do.
Okay, basically, what an enterprise. NASA physicist, artists unveil warp speed craft design.
Yeah.
Yes. Basically, scientist Harold White of NASA has been working since 2010 to develop a warp drive that will allow spacecraft to travel at speeds faster than light. That's 186,000 miles per second. White, who heads the NASA Advanced Propulsion Team, spoke about its conceptual starship at a conference last fall, but interest in this project reached a new level this week when he unveiled images of what the craft might look like. I'll go to Charles first. Charles, your thoughts on this?
Yeah. So, well, first off, the pictures that you see of the IXS Enterprise, this is, I guess they're calling the IXS, is
right.
Apparently Mike Okuda, right, helped design those pictures, right, for NASA, and of course, Mike is one of the premier Star Trek graphic designers, and worked with Doug Drexler and those guys back on TNG and whatnot. So, my overall thought on this, and, it's kind of like, I think it's cool, and, it would be a major, major breakthrough in science, all right? But I also think that it's kind of, it's basically good public relations. It's kind of like a PR piece because, let's be honest, all right? If tomorrow they came out and said, in a laboratory, we think we figured this out. We've got this figured out. There's no way that the government is going to build, the Enterprise in orbit, okay? It would cost, hundreds of billions of dollars. The best case scenario would be the first thing that they would ever send up is some sort of probe satellite, right? They'd put the drive on this thing and, zip it out and be like, hey, it came back in 4 weeks, and look at these really cool pictures of Alpha Centauri, right? And you'd be like, son of a bitch, it really works, right? And even then, there would be this huge amount of stuff that they'd have to look at, right? Like, it'd be 20 or 30 years, I think, before realistically, even if tomorrow they said, this is it, we figured it out, right? I mean, we have a problem with just getting beyond low Earth orbit right now, right? I mean, as far as building spacecraft for that, okay? We haven't even thought past, okay, we can build rockets that might go fast enough to go to, Mars, right? Or, maybe Jupiter and explore planets there, right? That we could build robust enough and, and put people on. But, they're thinking, how can we put as much food as we need on? What about the radiation? I mean, there's the deadly radiation. They're talking about, how would we shield for that kind of stuff. And thinking that you'd put humans on a spaceship and put it out there. There's no shield. There's no, so it's kind of just one of those, that's pretty neat, maybe someday type of thing, But I think, ideally, we really need to concentrate. My personal thought is, for humanity's goals, I think we need to colonize the moon first, right? If something goes wrong on the moon, hey, man, at least you're 3 days away from help, all right? Then once we figure out, well, we've got this down pat on the moon, man. We know how to grow food up there. We know how to get around. We know how to, shield ourselves from radiation and stuff. Then we make a jump to Mars, okay? And then we take those practices that we figured out, on the moon, and we bring them to Mars, and hopefully that translates, all right? But, again, really cool Photoshop pictures and stuff, and, but I'm not optimistic that I'm going to be serving as the chief engineer of the IXS Enterprise anytime soon.
Right. If we start colonizing Mars, as long as we have a good brewery and some beer on there, I'm there. Let's go.
Damn straight. Damn straight. Don't forget the That's true. You put a brewery out there on Mars, right? You know what? Someone will figure out the technical hurdles.
Don't forget the full floats either.
Yeah.
Don't forget the full floats. Okay, Mike, Deb, your take on this thing. Have you guys seen the pictures? Mike, you go first.
I have not followed it. I have not followed it enough to even, that's why I stayed quiet.
Mike, you're afraid to climb a ladder, let alone go into space, so...
Yes, I am.
Deb, your thoughts?
I think you'd be the first one dumb enough to volunteer for it, considering you're nothing but a Star Trek fanatic.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with being a Star Trek fanatic, okay? Okay?
Some of us are more fanatic than others.
Well, this is how bad of a fanatic he is. Our very first date, he took me to see Star Trek Nemesis.
That's not a bad date.
And the movie bombed, okay? The movie bombed.
How about this, the fanatic, right? You spend thousands of dollars recreating the sets for Star Trek 1960s, in a small town in New York, and then you spend hundreds of hours, perfecting those sets, and then, you put on costumes and you pretend you're, the actors from the 60s.
Right.
That's fanaticism.
Yeah,
while we're on the subject, how is the move going, Charles? How's the move going with the sets and everything? Everything's moved. All the sets are, the corridors are in place. I'd say the sets are at 80%. The briefing room isn't up, and the bridge is only from Spock's all the way to the view screen, right? So we need to put up the rest of the bridge. But for this coming shoot that comes up next week, we don't need that side of the bridge. You just film the classic angle, right? Like you were standing near the view screen towards Kirk's chair, right? So that's not a huge deal. So we can get to that over the rest of the summer. And the briefing room isn't used in this episode either. So why bust our butts trying to put it together if because it's in the briefing room you get the beams that go over the top of the the structural beams of the ship. Those are really difficult to put together and whatnot. So we're not going to worry about that. But the rest of it's looking pretty good, looking pretty sharp. And let me tell you, this is the first time the entire corridor has been put together. And in fact, we've got Scotty's office being constructed, and we've got space for engineering and stuff. So we'll have the engineering sets, and it's going to have the Phase 2 warp core. All right. Oh, okay, great, yeah.
Yeah. So instead of the kind of forced perspective thing and everything like that, it will be more like the motion picture.
Awesome.
Warp core. Yeah, and let me tell you, when you step out of the transporter room, you come out, hang a left, come to the intersection, look right, look left, right. If you look to your left, it goes down maybe 20 feet. There's an A-frame there, which would be also, I think it was a hangar bay, right? But then all the way down the curve, you can't see around the curve. It's like, I am standing on a starship right now. This is pretty darn cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So, and we start filming this week, so we'll be doing Mine Sifter, which is going to be an interesting episode, indeed. Yeah,
this is kind of a refilm for you guys on that, isn't it?
What's that? Yeah, it's a reshot.
Aren't you guys refilming this? Yeah,
we're refilming it. Yeah. So this was it's originally James Cawley done the thing, and we just hadn't worked out everything on it, and we're just basically scrapping it and starting over, and we'll have Brian do that. Brian's of course Kirk now, Brian Gross.
Right.
And
right.
Yeah, we'll change the story a little bit and whatnot. Scotty's basically in this episode. He's essentially dismayed or just kind of lost at the fact that Kirk is presumed dead, right? And and Spock is captain of the Enterprise now, and no one likes working under Spock because let's face it, he's a prick. So can I say that on your show?
You got to get it right. He's a pointy-eared bastard.
That's right. That's exactly right. Yeah. Yeah. That's exactly right. Yeah.
Anyway, moving on.
No.
Let's go on to a real, kind of a lighthearted, feel-good story here. Let me pull up my notes on this one. We're not going back to full float, okay? This is actually a real nice little story. This is out of Florida.
In a different way.
Yes. A man cuts open his truck to save a kitten. I mean, that's sweet. Come on. A hitchhiking feline in Florida has a 50-year-old truck owner to thank for her unusual rescue. Aaron Frazier of Vero Beach wasn't quite sure what to make at first when he heard a purring coming from his Chevy pickup. Well, hey, it runs good, okay. Anyway, parked outside his house in late May. He couldn't see anything, wasn't sure. He's around, and so he's, okay, there's a cat in there. So he opened up a can of cat food underneath one of the tires and set up a camera trying, at the bottom of it. When he came back the next morning, the food was gone, but there was nothing on the video. So he, thinking he lost his mind, he went on an impromptu fishing trip to clear his head. And when he got back, the cat started purring again. So what this guy do, he hears the kitten, kind of pinpoints it, and cuts a hole out of the side of his truck to rescue the kitten using some sheet metal cutters, and he cut the side of his truck bed. I'm looking at a picture. Really nice hole he cut in his truck. I'm a dog and cat lover. So much a cat lover. I'm allergic to cats, but I do like cats. Don't get me wrong.
You're allergic
this
to
guy went to
dogs, too.
Well, I'm allergic to you too, Deb. So.
I didn't want to say it.
Yeah, that's okay. Deb, you found this story first. Tell me your thoughts. Would you cut the side of your car open to save a cat?
Actually, I would. I actually remember when I saw that story, it actually brought me back to when we were in Kansas. Remember the neighbor that knocked on our door asking us if we'd seen his cat, and the cat was actually inside of our engine?
Oh, I remember
and
that.
We had we actually had to take parts off to get the cat out.
Right.
So it's something like that. Me being an animal lover, I honestly wouldn't think twice to do it to save an animal.
So if you were trying to sell it and you said, man, engine purrs like a kitten, you weren't kidding, were you?
That was my first thought, right, when he said it was a Chevy. I'm like, well, it certainly wasn't the engine, because there wasn't a Chevy that's ever been made where the engine's purred, all right?
Yeah, right.
But no, I think the fact that he cut it open without even thinking twice, considering him and his wife are both disabled and don't have the money to fix it.
Yeah, and that's well, I was going to get to that part of the story next, reading on. The gentleman is a disabled gentleman, and, they're cat and dog lovers, and, they went to the Humane Society, and the Humane Society actually paid to have the gentleman's truck fixed after the fact. I'll tell you, that's one of those really good, feel-good stories.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was there. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I think it was Gandhi, or maybe I'm misattributing the quote for sure, but said something along the lines of, you can tell the humanity of a nation by how they treat their animals, right?
Right.
I'm an animal lover. We have a cat, and he's phenomenal, and I love dogs. I love all animals, even like birds. That all animals love me for whatever reason that they come up, except for birds. I don't know what it is. They don't like me, period, right? People be like, this is the nicest bird in the world. You've never freaking bit anybody. Do you want to hold him? I'll be like, okay, it's a little parakeet. And the thing turns into, stark raving, freaked out eagle at the back of my head or something, right? I don't know what it is, but if I had to rescue an animal from my vehicle, I would do whatever I needed to do to get them out as well. That's
Absolutely.
What insurance is for, man.
Yeah. And I was going to say, I do the same thing, too. I'm a softie for animals, myself. We have a dog, and
no, she's not a dog. She's a baby.
She's a baby, and she left a really nice present in the living room for me. I have to clean up in a minute, but she's like a child. I mean, she's our child in the house, and you gotta love the little girl. I love animals. We're down to about 5 minutes left here in this program. We're going to touch on one more story, kind of keeping with our sci-fi thing. Those of you who didn't hear, Harrison Ford breaks his ankle on the set of Star Wars. Well, all I have to say is, what? Lightsabers aren't real, okay? If you're trying to blame a lightsaber,
Right.
The true story is, I guess for reading the story here, kind of glancing through it, the door of the Millennium Falcon fell on his foot. And now he's going to have to require possible surgery and a plate and screw in his ankle. Oh,
wow. Been there, done that with plate and screws. They're no fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's too bad they were on your head.
Yeah. First off,
wow.
J.J. Abrams, I bet you he's wishing he's probably back filming Star Trek again.
Yeah, he probably does.
You know, dude, you're one of your sets just almost killed Harrison Ford. How do you like that, right?
Yeah.
There's a great meme out there on the internet now where someone replaced the Death Star with Harrison Ford's head, and the Millennium Falcon coming out of it, and it's blowing up with the rings and stuff like that. It's phenomenal, funny stuff. Yeah.
All I can say is I think it's time for him to retire. The sets are falling on him.
Oh, no. I want to see him come back as, like, be Indiana Jones one more time at, like, 80. That'd be great. I mean, come on. The guy's 71 years old. I want to see him be Indiana Jones one more time. He can come out in his wheelchair, you know? I mean, come on. Crack the whip in his wheelchair. That'd be great. Come on.
I'll tell you one thing, though. You know, that kind of thing on a set, that's kind of a big deal, man. To have a prop on the set fail and injure an actor, right? You know, injuring any actor is kind of it's a bad scene, right? But injuring like a world class, A-level actor, right? It's like, I don't know, man. Some heads must have rolled down there for sure, right? I'm sure there.
Yeah, the shit all rolled downhill on that one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Well,
hey guys, it was a phenomenal chatting with you all tonight. I'm on a business trip to Florida tomorrow to work at our new offices in Florida, and I want to catch some more of the World Cup tonight, and I want to have a beer before I go. But I want to say that inviting me to come on again tonight. I do appreciate it.
Well,
thank you for coming on. Anytime, Charles. You're welcome on the show. Anytime. Charles Root from Star Trek Phase 2. For those of you listening, tune in. Should be the new episode should be coming out soon, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. We should have a new episode. What's the Holiest Thing? You should see that within a month. So yeah,
great,
very good.
Can't wait.
Yep.
All right, Charles. Thanks for calling in. Appreciate it. All right. Good night. All right. Bye. That was Charles Root from Star Trek Phase 2. He plays Commander Montgomery Scott. Does a great job with that. Big internet series, the granddaddy of them all, the one that started the whole thing with Star Trek fan series. They do the money and the time they put into doing that is insane. Wow, this show has gone by super fast. A minute and a half left. Wow. And we didn't even touch on all our stories because we spent more time on the pool float. Hey, anyway, next week, well, not next week, we'll be back in 2 weeks from now. Be the 8th. We'll be back at 6:30 on June 20th, and we'll pick some more topics, and we will do the same thing all over again. We have, of course, I want to thank my two co-hosts for coming on. Of course, as always, Deb and Mike. We may have more surprise guests coming on here in the near future. Of course, we had Charles on tonight. I want to thank Charles Root for taking a few minutes out of his busy schedule to call in and chat with us and have a few laughs. And it was a great time. You guys have anything you want to throw in before we end this thing in 30 seconds?
Just we're looking forward to the next show. See what other surprises we can bring.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll find many.
Yeah, got to find another pool float story, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Wait, I'll be the next pool float story.
Well, Mikey, hang on the line for a minute.
I'll be the next pool vacuum suction victim
You'll be the pool vacuum guy? I believe that. Yeah. All right, everybody, we'll be back in 2 weeks. For my everyone, We'll see you next time on Some Kind of Radio Show.
You still there, Mikey? You have been listening to Some Kind of Radio Show with our host, Big E, Earl McCune. Tune in next week, same time, same place for another fun-filled episode. Have a great night, and catch you on the flip side.